play. It was hard telling them no. Tight break staff to help me. They definitely helped me out. I got a girl that need me. I got a little girl that need me. I got a woman.
You're taking a live look now at Clover Nook Country Club. Perhaps you're celebrating the weekend by hitting the green, or maybe just taking a little bit of a stroll. Things are going to be a little bit on the toasty side as we head into your full holiday weekend, but definitely take advantage of tonight because we're only seeing seasonal highs there in the middle 80s. Good afternoon, meteorologist Erin Ashley. We are seeing just a little bit of impact there from the humidity, which is the dew point that you see behind me. It's in the middle 60s, and so that is going to be the culprit for that summer sizzle, that dog days of summer feel that we're going to notice 24 hours from now, really impacting those 4th of July afternoon and evening plans. But the good news is none of nature's fireworks, just a whole lot of artificial fireworks. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is happening around the tri-state area, which there is a lot happening across the tri-state area, which is going to be, it's exciting, right? It's very, very exciting. And so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this ad real quick for you guys before we get into that forecast and before we get into that list of exactly what is going down, which it's going to be warm, it's going to be humid, but like I keep mentioning, at least we're not noticing anything that's excruciating. It's not going to be extremely, it's not going to be an extremely lengthy heat wave, so to speak. It's borderline just your run-of-the-mill summer sizzle, right? It's not going to be too bad, but it's just going to really start to impact your afternoon more than anything. I know there's a lot going on. That's why I'm trying to pull up this particular, there it is, your list.
As many bullets that were flying.
This is on fox19.com. I'm going ahead and just scrolling down. That's at the alert bar that you see at the top of our screen. So you can see, yeah, not too bad of a forecast for tonight. And so today is really going to be what we are going to be looking at. It's going to be outstanding if you're heading out to, say, Batesville, Fairfield, Florence, Green Township. I know Milford is having theirs as well, Sparks in the Park. We also have Newport, Mount Washington, Oxford. This is all around the tri-state. We've got northern Kentucky, we've got southeastern Indiana, and we've got southwest Ohio. And more than likely, you'll be able to catch some of these fireworks shows a lot farther away because we've got such clear skies and conditions. Notice the list grows there for Friday, July 4th, naturally. Most of these happening right after the sun sets, of course. And so some of these have these events going on like all day long. So yeah, not something that you can kind of observe for yourself. But once again, Friday, July 4th is when we're expecting that summer sizzle, the heat and humidity to start to build right back into the tri-state. And that's a long list of events happening here in the tri-state. You got Aurora, you got blue ash, a red, white, and blue ash. Woo! That one is always outstanding. That growing up in Cincinnati, that's all reliable. We got Fort Mitchell, Fort Thomas, you got Greendale, we got all over the tri-state area. So if you're looking for something's happening. Even if you're waiting to the weekend, you got Rising Sun and Versailles, both in southeastern Indiana. You get your fair share of fireworks. And if you want to take advantage of something each and every day, once again, you can find that list on fox19.com, and you can find that forecast right here. Things are going to be a little bit more on the toasty side, but once again, like John is mentioning, hey, it's summertime, it's July, it's a lot better than the cold weather day we had over Memorial Day weekend. And you know what? To each their own, John, but you're exactly right. It is summertime, it is July. We're going to notice these spells a lot more frequently. No heat advisories in effect for the tri-state due to this impending heat, but once again, the summer sizzle is on tap. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the Facebook comments. I'll get to them throughout the live stream. Radar is quiet now. It's going to be mostly quiet through your weekend. It's really not too much about the clouds, the rain, even the lightning. We noticed that today and through your weekend, once again, because of that high pressure that is just nestling itself here into the tri-state area. And on the back side of this, as this high pressure scoots into the tri-state just a little bit, it's going to be bringing in from the south and west that heat. that humidity. So we're going to feel a lot more of that tropical humidity because of that high pressure. And that high pressure itself actually works to squish all that moisture from the upper levels of the atmosphere, or at least the mid levels of the atmosphere. It squishes it upon the surface. So literally high pressure. That's the name. It's got a name for a reason, and that's why. So the UV index today, it's at a 10. It was a 10 yesterday. It was a 10 before. It was a 10 over the weekend. It's going to be a 10 through your weekend, through your next weekend as well. So if you're heading outside long periods of time, even the fireworks shows, I know they're not going to be during the heat of the day, but even throughout the evening, the UV is going to be rather high. So burn time is going to be 20 minutes starting in the next hour or so. But good news is your fireworks forecast is looking great. Your sparklers forecast, just make sure you do so safely, celebrate safely. Temperatures going to be dropping from the middle 80s this afternoon to the lower 80s around sunset, and then eventually some of us going to be dropping into the 60s overnight into 4th of July. That is going to be the last night out of that 7-day forecast in which the 60s are possible. And reminder that we are getting later into summer, so it's just more often that we're going to catch those more mild mornings. So keep that in mind. 4th of July, that's tomorrow. This time tomorrow, it's going to be 83. And you're like, Erin, that is the same temperature as what we're sitting at right now. I know, but the humidity is ticking up. And all it takes is a little bit with temperatures like this. And so steamy sunshine, 83 will feel like the mid-90s this time tomorrow. And some of us are going to be making a run towards the triple digits this weekend. Again, those are the heat indexes. And you also got to factor in the sun. The sun's beating down on you. The humidity is weighing on you. Stay hydrated, take lots of breaks, and find spots in the shade to take those breaks. And also just take care of each other as well. There's going to be so many people outside enjoying this. And as long as everyone does so safely, I think we can all have a great 4th of July weekend. And the celebrations last into the weekend. I mean, look, FCC is home for the first time in a long time. I couldn't give you the exact amount of days, but it's been a long time. That starts Saturday, first kick. I'm thinking baseball. Kickoff is at 7:30 on Saturday night. It's going to be hot and it's going to be humid. So if you're caught on the sunny side of the stadium at TQL, I'm sorry. It's going to be really hot. But if you're in the shade, pretty pleasant. I mean, it's still going to be hot and humid, just not direct sunshine for you guys. Then we get into your Sunday, same sort of deal. Temperatures in the low 90s. It feels closer to 100, filtered sunshine. And then as we enter into next week, that second week of July, technically the first full week of July, that is when we start to notice scattered showers and storms. Not once, but for a few times next week. And that's because even though we have a weak cold front coming into the tri-state on Monday, that's why we got scattered showers and storms, it doesn't do much beyond it. It's a pretty weak cold front. That's why others on the weather team call it a slightly cooler than warm front, because it's not a stark difference in the weather after it. It's just a bit of a difference. You see it in the temperatures and you see it in the storm chances here in your 7-day. Monday is your greatest chance, just with the cold front actually pressing in late that evening, overnight into Tuesday. And then Tuesday, just a bit cooler, perhaps a little less humidity, but there is still the slimmest chance of some showers and storms into that extended forecast. So the Reds are at home starting on Monday. They will be bringing back the storm chances as well. We'll be monitoring that pretty carefully. And they're going to be home for at least 7 days, I believe. If you have tickets on Monday, well, even if the rain delay happens, even if it gets canceled, and no, this is not me manifesting, but if it happens, they're home the next few days, so they'll be able to get it in at some point in time. Seeing if we have any questions coming on in, and we do not. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about, say, the muggy meter, because the muggy meter, the humidity is the main weather story, because it's driving those heat indices and it's driving the chances for showers and storms. So the muggy meter is a measure of how humid it's going to be getting. And notice we have it plateauing or peaking Sunday into Monday, which is right ahead of that weak cold front that I just told you about. And so storm chances on Monday evening, they have the storm fuel. There is a source of lift with the cold front, and we'll just have to be watching for strong wind gusts and heavy rain with that. I think everyone's got a good chance to get some rain throughout the day, but especially towards the afternoon and evening as that cold front begins to approach the tri-state area. Again, that's going to be for Monday of this upcoming work week, so just after the holiday weekend. Just start planning now. Perhaps you're taking an extra day off today. You're absolutely, hopefully, taking the day off tomorrow. Maybe Monday you're heading back to work. You'll be doing so to some showers and some thunderstorms. All right, the time now is 12:11. Not seeing any questions into our comments, so I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here. We'll have the latest weather information coming in on Fox 19 Now at 3 o'clock, or I'll have it on Fox 19 Now at 3 o'clock. But for now, signing off here in Queensgate, I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley. Thanks so much for tuning in, and have a safe holiday weekend.